Yes, you see the title of the video. Haunted, donated sperm, and aborted fetuses. Now, the haunted, aborted fetuses, I'm going to make an entirely different video at a later date. And I'm going to explain how many aborted fetuses, how they come back and haunt the mother and even the fathers that aborted them before they were born. That's going to be interesting because if you look at a lot of things that people use, like cosmetics, and how it's alleged that a lot of cosmetics are used with aborted fetuses, right? So, but I'm not going to get into it right now. This is a totally different video. I came across this article that is quite interesting. I'm going to put the link on the bottom and you guys can read the article in its entirety. I'm just going to read a small portion of this article. But before I get started, I want you to go over to two of my YouTube channels and subscribe. Fearless J1111, Fearless J1111 Talk, and the other one is Spooky Elite Conservative. Go to those channels and subscribe. But the title of the article is Fertility Frontier, Siblings and Counting. Now, this article is in regards to a donor, a man that donated his sperm, I guess, throughout his life. And you know, sometimes people fall into hard times, and there's guys that will go and donate their sperm for a cost, you know, and they think that once they donate their sperm, it's done and over with. They're given a check or however they pay them. They use the money for whatever they choose to use the money for, and they think that it's done. But in this article, this talks about how many of the sperms that were donated, and I'm using it in this context for a reason, decided to one day use social media to link itself back to the father. Now, I'm going to read a portion of the article. I'm not going to read it all, just a portion. But this is quite interesting and at the same time quite scary. This is like this person is being haunted by the sperm that he donated. Never had a chance to see the child, never had sex with the woman, nothing. He just goes inside a clinic, do whatever they do, spit inside a cup, and the sperm goes on. Okay, so, but this article is talking about how, I guess, the privacy, the loopholes that's in this where you're able to find out who donated what. So when that child or that sperm becomes an adult, then that sperm can actually hunt the donor down. Now, it's got two parents, you know, because the sperm, they do whatever they do with it. They insert it into the moms get birth. So the child is born, believes that this is its mom's, its biological mom's. But then, like with the way things are now with these paternity tests and these people having paternity tests done, they're having these geological, what they call it, whatever, these tests, like where they find out where they're from. They have those tests, and it comes back like, wait a minute, mine is not matching my parents. So what's going on here? And it makes people curious. It makes them dig even deeper, trying to figure out, you know, what's wrong or who their parents are, right? So I'm going to read a portion of this article, right? It says, lack of regulations have created enormous genetic families. Now they're searching for one another. Okay. Boston, Kiana Ario, I think that's how you pronounce the name, clasped 8-year-old Sophia's hand tightly. 8-year-old Sophia's hands tightly as they spin around, giggling like mad. It's late afternoon, and there are hot dogs on the grill, bubble wine on the lawn, balls flying through the air. The midsummer reunion in a suburb west of the city looks like any other, but these family ties can't be described with standard labels. Instead, Aria, a 21-year-old waitress from Orlando, is here to meet DNA in-laws, various sister moms, and especially people like Sophia, a cherished donor sibling. It says Sophia and Ario were both conceived with sperm from donor 2757, a bestseller. Over the years, donor 2757 sired at least 29 girls and 16 boys, now ages 1 to 21, living in 8 states and 4 countries. Ario is on a quest to meet them all, chronicling her journey on Instagram. She has used an Excel spreadsheet to keep them all straight. We have a connection. It's hard to explain, but it's there, she said Ario. It's an only child who is both comforted and weirded out by her ever-expanding family tree. I'm going to read a little bit more, and I'm going to stop there. It says, thanks to mail-away DNA tests and a proliferation of online entries, people conceived with donated sperm and eggs are increasingly connecting with their genetic relatives. In other words, these eggs and the sperm is like looking. It's like it's like you have this invisible strand attached to you. You know, so although you're donating your sperm out, your sperm still has a connection to you. And sometime or somewhere in life, that sperm is going to seek you out. That's weird. That's strange to me, right? And that kind of falls in the realm of the haunted by aborted fetuses, okay, which I'm not really going to talk about that right now, but I'm going to make a video about that later on, all right? It says, forming a growing community with complex relationships and unique concerns about the U.S. fertility industry. Like Ario, many have discovered dozens of donor siblings, with one group approaching 200 members. Enormous genetic families without precedent in modern society. That's insane. That's like you sitting home one day. Now, the man probably in his 20s, early 20s, 30s, or whatever, any age, and he's going out there, he falls short, he needs some money, he go out there and donate his sperm away, you know, like people donate blood, right? He go out there and give some sperm, they give him some money, and he think everything is okay, no child support, and unfortunately there's cases where sperm haunted certain men that said, okay, I'm going to sell my sperm to this lesbian group or this gay couple so that they can bring children into life. They can raise a child, right? But then things don't work out between that gay couple, so they split up. Well, that gay couple have sought out the person that is the owner of the sperm and now took that man to child support. So now this man is paying for a child that he didn't even enjoy having sex with the woman. He just donated his sperm or sold his sperm. But things didn't work out between the lesbian couple. So now the lesbian now is looking for the biological father to take care of that child. And I read an article before where this one man, you know, was ordered by the court to have to take care of that child because that's his seed, right? So guys, you got to be careful when you start donating sperm. Be careful because that sperm will haunt you one day, right? I can imagine you sitting home with your family, and all of a sudden you hear this scary knock on the door, pounding. You be like, who is it? And then the voice responds and say, it's your sperm, nigga. Open up. Right? Now, what would you do if you hear sperm talking to you? It's your sperm, nigga. Open up. And you open up and you got this grown man or this grown woman standing there saying, you my dad because you donated some sperm when you were like in your 20s or whenever. Right? So that sperm will haunt you. So there's dudes, man, there's women. This women is being haunted by their eggs. And could you imagine? And y'all think a lot of times when things happen, and this is cutting into my other video, and I'm going to only speak a little bit on it, regarding the aborted fetuses or being haunted by aborted fetuses. Sometimes, man, people don't come into your life just by accident. Sometimes people come into your life because they're led there or they're meant to be there. People that wreak havoc in your life. People that harm you physically in some way or harm a family member in some way. And you're trying to figure out why you can't get rid of this person. It seems like nothing, regardless of what you do, you try to go to law. Anything you do, it fails when it comes to trying to get rid of a problem in your life. Women, you meet dudes. Dudes, you meet females, right? That's there to wreak havoc in your life, to wreak havoc. For some reason, my words aren't coming out clear today. But you meet these people that's designed to wreak havoc in your life, and you wonder, why are you going through that? And it seemed like you tried. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it right now because I don't want to give away too much of that video. But it's about being haunted by aborted fetuses, and you don't realize you're being haunted by a fetus because of the fact that aborted fetuses are used in a lot of products now, and people are using these products. And because they're using products that contains aborted fetuses, that fetus now is in a way possessing that individual or controlling that individual on some sort of level, and that person is not even aware that they're being controlled or manipulated by the spirit of that fetus. So now that person is wearing it. It's like somebody who wears a charm or a necklace or a bracelet or a ring, and that person dies a horrible death, right? And somehow you end up buying that ring from a pawn shop, or you end up finding that ring, or for some reason, some way you come in contact with that ring and you say, oh, I got a ring, or I found a necklace or earrings or whatever, and then you decide to clean it up and wear it yourself. Well, that item is connected to someone that passed away, that died a horrible death. And that item that you have, or that you might have bought at a flea market or a rummage sale, they had it on sale for very cheap and you decided to buy it. You thought it was a good deal. So now you have it. So now you inherit what's ever connected to that item that you have. But somehow that item that you found is linked to someone that may have worn a product containing an aborted fetus. You killed your baby. So now that baby in some way, shape, or form is coming back to haunt you. And even if it has nothing to do with an item that people wear or makeup or anything of that nature, it can be in the form of a dream or a nightmare. You steady having nightmares and dreams about a particular person, and you're trying to figure out who that person is in your dream and why you're being haunted by that dream. Or you start having paranormal activities around your house, and you're thinking that the reason why is because somebody before you moved into that house might have died or something to that effect, but you don't realize that that have a lot to do with you and choices that you made in life when you aborted a child. But I'm not going to get into that. That's coming at a later video. But I'm going to put this article on the bottom. You guys feedback and tell me what you think. But this is quite weird, man. This is some strange stuff, man, where, guys go into a little room and spit in a cup and, get paid for his sperm. And then some years later, that same sperm grows up to be an adult and now seeks you out because there's still a connection there. There's a DNA connection there. DNA is heavy. DNA is heavy. It's deep, man. And it goes a lot deeper than people can ever imagine. So, feedback, tell me what you think. Subscribe. Like this video and financially support this channel if you choose to do so. Until next time, I'm fearless.